Good evening, everyone. Is everyone able to hear me? Shoot. It's already 9:06. Okay, I didn't see the time. And able to see my screen? Okay. Is my voice clear? Please remember to turn off the, if at all you came from krishnatraining.com site, main site, please make sure you turn off that site. Okay? Okay. So let's start today. Let's just do a little bit of overview of yesterday's class. Can anyone tell me what is a constructor? Can anyone tell me what is a constructor? Hello, are you guys there? Constructor. I'm talking about constructor. Correct. Instantiate an object. When you were asked to tell about a constructor, we shouldn't say it's normally public or something. The main purpose of constructor is to instantiate an object or feed the object. But technically, constructor is a special type of method which there are two rules when creating a constructor. What are they? It does not return. Someone is speaking but I couldn't hear.
Default constructor and parameterized constructor.
No, I was asking about the rules, not the types of constructors. I was asking about the rules when creating a constructor. That is, it should be the same as the class name and it does not have a return type. Right? Good. Same as the class name and it should not have a return type. And what are the two types of parameters? It's a default constructor and a parameterized constructor. Okay? Good. But guys, you guys have to take a look. Like, did you guys get all the documents? Did you guys start the exercises? Did anyone attempt the exercise? Good.
Documents are not assigned to us. It's not allowing us to see that or read the documents.
Sorry, did you talk to the Krishna training people? I asked you like, huh?
Yeah, they told us that what you uploaded, those only we can see.
Yeah, what I uploaded only, I'm asking you guys to see, right?
Yeah, but it's not giving me a permission to see the documents also.
But looks like couple of people are able to. Looks like couple of, I told you to see the one from under batch 185. Okay? Please talk to the people on phone. I mean, please talk to the people from krishnatraining.com center and see all these post this one batch 185, whatever says batch 185, until you get access, until you get access of them, please do not leave the phone. Okay, whatever is under Selenium by Kamala, constructors batch 185, whatever says batch 185, you should be able to see all the documents. Please try to get the details from the training center, then only get off the phone. Okay? Yeah, good. Thank you, Pranjal. Yeah, please talk to them. They have multiple students, right? So please talk to them so that they don't get confused. And until you get access, do not drop off the phone. I think video, I just saw the video posted. It was there. Yeah. Oh, this was not the one? Okay, yeah, videos they might post, and anyways, they are saying no classes in Virginia on 23rd and 24th due to the snowstorm. So they might, the training center might be closed as well. Okay? Stay safe, whoever is in Washington DC, Virginia, and New York areas. Please be safe. Stay safe and stay warm because of the snowstorm. Okay? See, all these are related to our class only. So please try to get them and then only drop off on the phone. That I cannot really help you because I do not have that permission either. Okay? One second. Okay, please don't leave. For some reason my screen just blacked out. Let me try to get back, okay? Don't leave. I just came back. Do you guys still see a background noise? Do you guys still hear background noise, everyone? One second. How about now? Are you guys able to hear me? Background noise? Do you guys still have a background noise? Still background noise? One second. Let me log out and log back in then. Okay, how about now? Is it clear? Still there? The background noise is not coming from me then. Maybe it's just due to the storm or something. It's not. Actually, I'm in a really closed room. I can hear my voice resound actually. So, okay, let's start. Today we are going to discuss about the OOPS concepts. So, what are the main OOPS concepts? Encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance and abstraction. Good. So what is encapsulation?
Binding together.
Yes, binding together in the sense like process of wrapping up of data, and behavior of an object into a single unit is called encapsulation. How will we encapsulate normally? Like how do we achieve that in Java? Please everyone mute your microphones please. How do we achieve that? We achieve that, where do we wrap all these, like where do we create objects, where do we put variables? In a class. Yes. In a class. So encapsulate means nothing but enclose or to be enclosed in arrow as if in a capsule. Okay. So in Java everything is enclosed either within a class or within an interface, which we will know what an interface is really soon once we know more about abstraction. Okay. So encapsulation means basically wrapping everything in a single unit. Okay, that is called encapsulation. So the next one is inheritance. So what is inheritance?
Like from old to new, extend and extendable like a relation. Like inheritance.
Inherit the properties. Passing on. Inheriting the properties and like passing on. Okay. So the most fundamental element like in Java, the most couple of fundamental element in Java is first class, then object, right? So a class represents an entity and also define and implements its functionality. So in Java, classes can be derived from other classes in order to create more complex relationships. Okay, so a class that is derived from another class is called subclass, and that means it inherits all the fields and methods of its superclass. So let's say you have a class called class A and you have a class called class B. Okay, so class B is derived from class A, so that means it inherits all the properties and methods of class A. Okay, then class A is called parent class or superclass. Okay, and this is called subclass or child class. Okay, and this is called parent child relationship or is a relationship in Java. So in Java only single inheritance is allowed. There is no multiple inheritance. Okay, in Java remember only single inheritance is allowed. Only single inheritance. There is no multiple inheritance, like say you have one more. Some class C. Like that, multiple inheritance is not available. Only single level inheritance is available. If at all there is multi-level inheritance. There is multi-level inheritance. That is something like you can inherit either like this, A to B, or you can inherit inherit down. And from B you can inherit to C. Right? You cannot inherit multiple inheritance. There cannot be, let's say, class A and class B, and there cannot be class C which points to both. Okay? That is multiple inheritance. So in Java, only single level inheritance is allowed. Only single level inheritance is allowed. So a class can be derived from another class that is derived from another class. You can do this. Okay? This is multi-level but not multiple. Okay? So and also remember, any class in Java is inherited from an object class. Yesterday I showed you, right? Whenever we created, there is some object class, so that is a super class. You don't need to technically say something to inherit, you are automatically inheriting. Okay? In Java, every class is a subclass of object class. Just remember that. Okay? Now let's see with an example, how do we inherit these kind of things. Let's say, let's create some class A and class B. Okay? And let's say there is class B. So what did we say? B is going to inherit, is going to be a subclass of class A, right? So whenever you want to inherit something from some other class, you have to use a keyword called extends. Extends. Okay? Extends. And then say A, the class name. Okay? So in order to declare that class B is a child class of A or is inheriting from class A, we have to use a term called, the keyword called extends. Extends. Okay? Remember that one. And also remember, Java supports only public inheritance. Okay? So all fields and methods of the super class are inherited, can be used by the subclass. Whatever is said as whatever all fields and methods of the superclass are inherited can be used by the superclass. The only exception is that when something is set to private, that cannot be accessed by the subclass. Only public is available. Okay? And also constructors are not members. So that's why you cannot inherit constructors. By subclasses cannot inherit constructors. Only objects and methods can be inherited. But you can do something, you can invoke a constructor of a superclass from a subclass by using a keyword called super, which we will learn in detail. Okay? Remember these things. Constructor is not a member, so that's why you cannot inherit constructor. But you can invoke it. You can invoke it from a subclass using the keyword super. Okay? So those you will learn as we move forward. Super we will learn in detail. Okay? So now let's see one example, real example of constructors. Of inheritance. So let's say I'm going to create a class called animal. Okay. Animal, and then I'm going to say I want to create a method. I want to create a method. Sorry, I want to create a constructor called. I want to create a constructor. How do I create it? How do I create a constructor? This is a normal class. How do I create a constructor? You just have to give the name of the name of the class, right? Animal, and say quotations, and then give some data to be fed. Like let's say system dot out dot
Print line.
println, and say a new animal has been created. Okay. Then let's create some methods. Let's create a method called sleep, which does not return anything. How do I create it?
Public static void.
Public. I told you public, right? Public void sleep. Okay? Good. And then let's create another method called eat. Public void eat. Okay? Let's say here system.out.println animal eats. For now, let's take out the main method. Okay, and in sorry, animal sleeps. This is sleeps, right? Eats. Okay. Now let's create another method, which is let's create a class called bird, which inherits and from animal. Excuse me. How do I do that? Bird. I'm saying it inherits from animal. So how do I
Animal.
say that?
Class animal extends.
Yes.
Public class
Public class bird extends what? Animal. Okay? Good. So this is how it extended animal. So now let's say I told you that we can use a keyword super, right? So first of all, let's create a constructor here. Public bird. Okay. And invoke super for now. And then let's say, let's take this out for now. And then let's create let's create one method here. Public void eat. Okay, and let's say system.out.println a bird eats. Okay, I'll tell you what is this also. Then let me create another class. For now, first let me create some example classes and then I will explain. Dog. Then let's create what did we override in here? Eat. So what did we create? Sleep. Public void sleep. System.out.println tiger sleeps. Okay. Now let's create a method that has mean. Oh, sorry, let's create a class that has mean. Okay. So here we are going to say, now let's create objects. Let's create objects. I want to create an object for animal class and also I want to create an object for bird. So how do I create, the animal, bird and tiger. So how do I create those objects? Can anyone tell me how do I create first animal object?
Variables, public static void main.
No, how do I create an object? What is the syntax for creating an object?
Animal dot object
No,
is
create
equal
an
to
object.
new
Yeah, animal. There is no dot here.
constructor name.
Animal. Let's say animal. This could be, let's say O1 so that it's not confusing. Equals to new
Constructor.
constructor, like we have to give animal because this is going to be. Then I want to create an object for bird class, bird. So how do I do that? Bird, go to equals to new bird, like this. Then the next one is tiger. So tiger O3, basically whatever object you're trying, whatever for whatever class you're going to create object, that's what that name has to be. Okay, constructor. So like this. Now let's say you created all these. Now let's call those methods. O1. O1 has what methods did we create in animal, sleep and eat, right? So let's call O1 dot sleep. Okay, let's see what are the methods available. See, how can you just note, see one thing. You can see this is the class. This is the class. This is the method. Like how do you read what are the methods available for this object means? Like eat is the method. Void is what?
Non-return var.
That means it does not return anything. So animal means it's part of animal class. Okay. So in the same way, this one. Now can anyone tell me what this is? What is this? Equals. What is equals? What is equals? Any class that I write in Java is a superclass of what? Is a subclass of what?
Superclass.
Superclass of object. Okay. So that means this is an equals method and which takes arguments object and it returns boolean type. Okay. And then it belongs to the class object. Okay. So same way, these are very important. Okay. So then in Selenium we have to, because in Selenium we are going to import everything from some jar and then we have to use those methods. So get class method and it is return is some class and object, like similar way, notify, void, object. Anyways, for now let's concentrate on these animals. So these are the available methods. So animal dot sleep or o dot sleep, let's say. Okay, and then let's say o2. o2 dot see for o2 what are available in it. In bird, what did we even write? We wrote only eat, right? Technically only eat should be present, only eat method should be present. How come it got sleep method also? How come? Because
because it is inheriting, like inheriting.
Correct.
Yeah, extended. Yeah.
It is because it is inheriting animal. Why? Then it should have 2 eats, right? Then it should have 2 eats. How come only 1 eat is there? Because we overrode the inherited method. Okay, we overrode the inherited method. So one only will be available. That is called method overriding. I'll explain in detail, but just for sample. Okay, then let's say O3. O3 also, see, eat will be part of animal, but where is it? Sleep will be part of tiger because we overrode sleep there. Okay, so if I try to execute it, animal sleeps, a bird eats, tiger sleeps. Okay, that's how. Let's say if we call by o2 dot sleep, o2 dot sleep, what? Animal sleeps will only be printed because it's calling the method from that animal. Okay, so these are just, it's calling the constructor. A new animal has been created, because we called super is invoked. Okay, super is invoked. That's why it prints out a new animal has been created. This one should be default. Okay, so this is how inheritance works. So inheritance, we created 3 classes: animal, tiger and bird. And both tiger and bird classes extended the animal class. So that means it inherits all the methods and variables from it. Okay. So in each class we overridden. In each class we have overridden the methods of the animal. Right. So that's why it has its specific method and at the same time it has the inherited methods as well. Okay, so it has the inherited methods as well. So that's what is about inheritance. So while we are at it, let's learn about let's learn about what is it? Method overriding. Method overriding. Method overriding. We overrode a method, right? Like what is even I was talking about method overriding. Method overriding. What is this method overriding? We can override a method of the parent class in the child class. You can only override when there is a relationship, when there is an inheritance relationship between the two classes. If without that, it's not really technically an overriding, right? So the main concept of overriding, method overriding is there should be a inheritance relationship between the two classes. Okay? You can override something in the child class. Okay? That is what is method overriding, and that is also part of polymorphism. That is also part of polymorphism. Okay. So now while we are at it, the next concept is what are our concepts? Inheritance, inheritance, first one is encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism,
Abstraction.
and abstraction.
Abstraction.
Correct. So we saw encapsulation and inheritance. Any questions till now?
Can we have the same method's name in inherited classes?
That's what we saw, right? What is that called? If you have the same method name, what is it called?
Overriding?
Yes.
Eh?
Okay, yeah.
Now let's see about polymorphism, and let's see more about method overloading and overriding. So what is polymorphism?
Ability to change the form.
Yes, correct. What is polymorphism is ability to change the forms. So how do you achieve polymorphism in Java? By two things. What are they? Method overloading and method overriding. Method overloading, method overloading and method overriding. Okay. So these are also called runtime polymorphism and
Compile
compile time polymorphism. So runtime polymorphism is achieved by method overriding, whereas compile time polymorphism is achieved by method overloading. Okay. So now let's see about method overloading. Method overloading in Java. So method overloading, how do you achieve that method overloading? Let's say if a class has multiple methods by the same name. We saw yesterday constructor overloading, right? It's a similar way. Okay. Let's say you have multiple methods by the same name but different parameters in the same class. Remember, in the same in the same class, it is known as method overloading. So if we have to perform only one operation having same method, same name of the methods, increases the readability of the program. So that's the advantage. Like why? Because let's say you want to perform addition only. Let's say you want to perform addition, but sometimes you might have 2 digits, sometimes you might have 3 digits, sometimes you might have 4 digits. Okay? Like, because you are doing addition, like any method name that we are giving, like it has to be self-explanatory. Like when I say add, it will be explanatory for me, or when someone, a third person looks at it, they can say, oh, adding numbers, like that, right? So let's say you have to, sometimes based on your program, you might have to add like once 2 members, once 3 members, once 4 members. So when you're giving the same name again and again, but different number of parameters, it's called method overloading. Okay, so if you have to like multiple names in this, multiple methods by same name but different parameters in the class, is called method overloading. Method overloading, advantage of method overloading is it increases the readability of the program. Okay, it increases readability of the program. There are 2 different ways to overload the method. But how? One is by changing number of arguments, and the other one is by changing the data type. Okay, by changing number of arguments and by changing the data type. So let's see, let's create one program. Let's say calculation. And in here, I want to write 2 methods called public void sum or add, anything. Could be, then say integer a comma integer b. And what does this do? It's taking 2 parameters. And what does this do? System dot out dot println a plus b. Okay, and then the next one is public void again add, but this time I'm changing integer a comma integer b. If I write like this, it's going to throw me an error saying you already have the same method. Okay, but if I write integer c like this, it will not throw out an error, because this is allowed. This overloading is allowed as long as the number of arguments or parameters are different, or the data type is different. Okay. Encapsulation is whatever we are writing daily. Whatever we are writing daily is encapsulation, right? Like you created multiple objects, multiple methods. That's the encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing different. Okay, it's just creating a class which binds together different objects, properties, and methods. Okay. Now let's say system dot out dot println and a plus b plus c. Okay. Now first let's create an object. How object of this class. So how do I create calculation object equals to new calculations. Okay, and now let's say object dot call this method. See, add, see, it's giving 2 methods, 1 method, 2 methods. So first let's call this method, and we have to pass the values, right, and call it. So let's say 2 and 3. Object dot add, and let's say
New.
no, why new?
Oh.
I'm just calling the method. Okay, 2, 3, 5. Okay, see, 1 it gave 5, 1 it gave 10. Okay, so this is what is the method overloading. So method overloading means it is achieved by giving different names, same name but different parameters or by different data type. So let's see, by different data type, what do I mean by different data type? So let's say float here. This also is achievable. Okay. 0.5. Oh, float, sorry, double. Well, okay. So different data type. This is also is allowed. As long as you can achieve method overloading either by changing the number of parameters or by changing the, let's create one more here. Sorry, I should have, me being lazy, I just changed existing one. I didn't realize we don't have 3 parameters. Int B and int C. Okay. A plus B plus C. Okay. This is called method overloading. So this is called method overloading. So now this is yeah, that's it with method overloading. You cannot, let's say you have yeah, 1 second. Let's say you are returning something. You are returning something. Just by changing the return type, it will not work. It is not called method overloading. Let's say you are adding integer return, static int. Okay. This is not method overloading. You cannot do like that. You cannot change the return type and say method overloading. Method overloading can only be done by 2 ways. One is by changing the number of parameters or by changing the type of parameter, data type of the parameter. That is called method overloading. Can main method be overloaded?
No.
Technically, yes. Technically, you can overload a main method. Why cannot you overload? If you change the parameters and give the same name, you can overload, right? This could be a tricky interview question. You can say technically, yes. But like, why would we overload a main method? It will cause some confusion. For a programmer only, it will cause confusion. But technically, yes. Because method overloading can be achieved by just changing the number of parameters or the data type of the parameter. Okay. You can have any number of main method in a class by method overloading. But technically, your compiler will look for this particular format, that is the main method, but you can have main name anywhere. Okay. So this is called method overloading. Any questions? Then the other type of polymorphism, what is in polymorphism, what? So we can overload a method, we can overload a constructor, and we can overload a operator. What is the operator symbol that can be overloaded? Correct. Runtime, and plus sign is what you can overload. Okay, Geeta, were you raising the hand by an accident or do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Like in the previous program, like even though if we give the different method names for the same operation, can we call with the same object? All
Wait.
the methods?
Yeah, you can call it. Here we called it like that, right? It all depends on the way you're calling. Okay. So method overloading is called compile time polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism is nothing but like, let's say in a class you have more than one methods with the same number, with the same name, but with different number of parameters and different types of arguments, right? So how does it do compiler? When you call object, how does it know which method to call? By the number of parameters you are passing. Okay? That is why this is called
Okay,
compiled
okay.
polymorphism. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure. So moving on, the next one is overriding method. Sorry. Yeah, method overriding. Method overriding is also called runtime polymorphism. This could be also an important question. They could ask you, what is polymorphism? Ability to change forms, and how you can achieve polymorphism in Java, either by method overloading and method overriding. So can I not achieve by runtime what is then runtime polymorphism? They'll ask you interview questions like that. So when I ask you what is compile time polymorphism, how will you tell me? Compile time polymorphism is called, yes, method overloading, because compiler knows which method to call because you are passing different types of parameters. Okay? Okay, then the next one is where were we? Method overriding. Method overriding is always achievable when there is what type of relation between two classes?
Parent-child relationship.
Correct. Parent and child relationship. We already saw that example here. So here we have animal is our parent class. Bird is our child class. So I overrode eat method, and it said, and I said bird eats. When I called it in the main method, when I called it o.o2.eat, how did it know to call that particular method? Because it does in the runtime. It doesn't know how to call it in the compile time because it has the same type of parameters. And okay, one more thing, the rules for method overriding is it has to be the same name as the method that was given in the parent class, and also it has to have the same number of parameters, same number of same type of arguments, I mean data types as well. So that is called method overriding. So method overriding, to do a method overriding, you always have to have a parent-child relationship. Okay, a parent-child relationship. Okay, so the main advantages of method overriding is that bird can have its own, like the subclass can has its own implementation, though it inherited some existing method. Let's say there is a bank called, like there is one World Bank, and then we have sub banks like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo. All of them have interest rates, but they might differ. Like some might be giving 1.25 returns. I mean, some of them might be giving, let's say, credit cards. So Bank of America, they might charge annual fee of $20. American Express might not charge any. Chase might charge $30. It has its own implementation, but the methods are the same, right? The annual rates are the same. The calculation is the same, but only the percentage will change, right? That is how the benefits of method overriding. Okay, you can override the methods, but it's more for to have its own implementation in the subclass. And also method overriding is only possible when there is parent and child relationship. And this is also called as runtime polymorphism, because during compile time it's hard for it to say which method we are calling. Only during runtime it's easy for its execution. The rules are that it has to have the same name as the method, or else what are we overriding, right? And also the argument list is of overriding method must be same as that method in the parent class. Okay, and also the data types also should be the same. Okay, so this is what we can override. This is what is called overriding. Any other questions? These are called types of polymorphism. Types of polymorphism you can achieve by two things: compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism, or method overloading or method overriding. Method overloading, what are the rules for the method overloading? It has to be in the same class, and it has to have different types of parameters and different number of parameters and different data type of arguments, but it has to have the same method name. Then overriding is possible only between two. Overriding is possible only when there is a parent-child relationship. Okay, correct. And also it has to have the same number of parameters, and also data type also has to be the same. Okay, these are called overloading and overriding. So this is it about inheritance and polymorphism. On Monday we will take a look at abstraction, because abstraction is, we need to go in little detail. You just need to understand the concepts of abstraction. In abstraction we will have abstract class and interface. We will see in there. And I will tell you one important interview question in there. In Java, multiple inheritance is not possible, but it can be achieved via class level, but it can be achieved via interface level. I'll explain you how and that everything. Okay, with this I end our class for today. Stay safe, stay warm, whoever is living in DC and Virginia area. Okay? Any other questions?
Where do you live, Kamala?
I'm in Virginia. So we are expecting like 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, I also live in Virginia.
Oh, I see. Just stay safe, stay warm.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
Sure. Pranjal, do you want me to? Yeah, sure. I'll send you. Vasu, what's up? Did you raise hand by accident or do you have a question? Please try to do the exercises. Monday, please try to complete the exercises. I gave 2 exercises. Okay? Please try to do the exercises. Any other questions? Pranjal, are you there? Vasu, do you have any question? Looks like you raised the hand. Okay, any question? Any questions? Okay, Pranjal, let's take a look. Are you ready? Okay, let me make you the presenter. Show me what is the issue that you are facing. Normally I'm not supposed to give out my personal email ID. But that's okay. Actually, let me give you 1 second. Oh, shoot. 1 second. Here. Try to reach out to me via my email. Okay? I'll respond in the next 24 hours. Normally you can meet me in those 24 hours, but you can just, in the class we will, anyways I will leave 15 minutes open for the questionnaire, right? Like you can ask me then, so that it will be helpful for other classmates as well. Okay? Pranjal, did I made you the presenter, right? I made you the presenter, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Go to quick start and share your screen, please.
see my screen?
Yeah. Okay, show me what is the error that you're
So I opened
facing.
Eclipse, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, now I want to create a new project.
Yeah, how do you create it? Okay,
So I
no. Go click. Right click now. No. Go
on the
down.
project
In that
explorer.
white space. Yeah, right click. New. Project. Java project. Hmm. Give some name. Say next. That is it.
Finish.
Finish. Okay. You created the project. Yes. No. Yeah, this kind of is this is designed to support. Do you want to open? Yes. Say yes. Okay. Then finish. Okay. Now expand. Source. In there, you have to create classes. Let's create a class. New class. Just say example class 1, something like that. Okay. And then go to the, no, you cannot have spaces in the class.
Oh,
Okay. Then
public static void.
select public static void main. I mean, it depends on. Okay. So finish. Okay.
Okay.
Okay there.
Okay. Yeah,
Anyone else have any questions?
I was
What
actually
is it,
clicking on
friend?
the. I was actually clicking on the package explorer and trying to see if
No
the.
worries. No worries. This is the first time, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay then. Have a nice day, everyone. Have a
You
good
good
day.
day.
Any other questions? Okay. Stay. Yeah.
Yeah, Kamala.
Who is it?
Uh, yeah, this is Geeta.
Yeah, Geeta. What's up?
Uh, yeah, this is regarding the exercises you
Mm-hmm.
have given. So for the logical operators, you said don't use that if condition, and so is that the one we use conditional operator that you mentioned with example in the notes? Can we use that one?
Yeah. Try to achieve that. Try something. And then I'll
Yeah.
explain you on Monday. Okay?
Okay.
Try. Think.
Okay, fine.
Okay?
Thank you.
Do not
Thank you.
use if logic.
Okay.
Okay? Think how to
Yeah,
achieve
yeah.
that.
Instead of
That's why
okay.
I wanted to make. That's why I
Okay.
gave. Like I know
Okay.
it's programmatically it's not correct, but I wanted you guys to be aware of everything. So that's it.
Okay.
Analyze
Okay.
and then
Thank
let
you.
me know. Okay. Okay then.
Okay.
Anyone
Okay.
else? Have a nice weekend, guys. Bye. Why, Vasu, you guys have? Do you have still a question? Or these hands were raised before? You don't? Okay. Good night.